Shalom Akyam. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and Shalom to the sincere Akyam, spreading this truth in sincerity. Shalom. So in this video I want to go into Proverbs chapter 13 verse 11, which reads, "Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase." So what this actually goes into is that if you want to, gain money in a very quick way by doing things that hold no value or that don't really build any foundation, over time, this is not going to be profitable, but it shall basically, lead to nothing. Think about, for instance, get rich quick schemes, such as where, certain people have to put in a certain amount of money, which eventually the last individual, will receive that money. And then he goes out of that pool and then enters into a new pool. That is actually a vain thing, man. Because, truth be told, that has to be a continuous loop of people putting certain amount of money in certain layers for, the one that reached the top, to become profitable. For him to get like 5, 6, 7, maybe 10,000, and then it repeats again. But at a certain moment of time, people are going to realize that actually it's a hoax. Let me see if I can find one. Find the one that I'm actually talking about. It's like a pyramid. What was a pyramid? Pyramid scheme. Ponzi scheme. What is a pyramid scheme? Yeah, man. So, one of those vanity things is a pyramid scheme. So here I have information on the pyramid scheme, which is a Wikipedia. It says a pyramid scheme is a business model which, rather than earning money or providing returns on investments by sales of legitimate products to an end consumer, mainly earns money by recruiting new members with the promise of payments or services. As the number of members multiplies, recruiting quickly becomes increasingly difficult until it is impossible, and therefore most of the newer recruits do not make a profit. As such, pyramid schemes are unsustainable. The unsustainable nature of pyramid schemes has led to most countries outlawing them as a form of fraud. So, let me look up a little bit of information on that as well. It says the concept and basic models. It says in a pyramid scheme, an organization compels individuals who wish to join to make a payment. In exchange, the organization promises its new members a share of the money taken from every additional members that they recruit. The directors of the organization, those at the top of the pyramid, also receive a share of these payments. For the directors, the scheme is potentially lucrative, whether or not they do any work. The organization's membership has a strong incentive to continue recruiting and funneling money to the top of the pyramid. It says such organizations seldom involve sales of products or services with value, so it's vain. It's a vain thing. It's not even. It doesn't even hold any value, man. It doesn't produce anything of any value. It says without creating any goods or services. The only revenue streams for the schemes are recruiting more members or soliciting more money from current members. The behavior of pyramid schemes follows the mathematics concerning exponential growth quite closely, Salakia. Each level of the pyramid is much larger than the one before it. For a pyramid scheme to make money for everyone who enrolls in it, it would have to expand indefinitely. When the scheme inevitably runs out of new recruits, lacking other sources of revenue, it collapses. You see? Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, man, leads to nothing eventually. When the scheme inevitably it collapses, since the biggest terms in this geometric sequence are at the end, most people will be in the lower levels of the pyramid. Accordingly, the bottom layer of the pyramid contains the most people. The people working for pyramid schemes try to promote the actual company instead of the product they are selling. Eventually, all of the people at the lower levels of the pyramid do not make any money. Only the people at the top turn a profit. People in the upper layers of the pyramid typically profit, while those in the lower layers typically lose money. Since most of the members in the scheme are at the bottom, most participants will not make any money. In particular, when the scheme collapses, most members will be in the bottom layer and thus will not have any opportunity to profit from the scheme. Still, they will have already paid to join. Therefore, a pyramid scheme is characterized by a few people, including the creators of the scheme, making large amounts of money, while subsequent members lose money. For this reason, they are considered scams. So with things like this, you ain't gonna make no money, man. You see, but what does it say? It says, Proverbs chapter 13, verse 11, wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase, man. So if you really put in work, and what it mentions here is, it mentions products or services with values. If you really put in work with products or services that value, over time, if you are diligent in your business, like the scripture says, you shall not stand before me, man, you shall stand before kings. You're basically going to, come into contact with influential people. Why? Because you develop yourself as a man, you get a reputation, you become reliable, trustworthy. You see? So the labor that you put in is gonna reap its reward eventually, man. You see? Scripture says, they that sow in tears shall reap in joy, man. Sowing in tears, we often use it, for it to represent what we do in this truth, by making our videos and putting in the work, while we go through these hardships and grievous things. But you can also see it as how you, with the business, have your ups and downs, But if you put in the work, eventually it's gonna reap its rewards, man. If you, for instance, look at the type of job that I have, I work in the infrastructure, more specifically aimed at the electrical branch. So I'm an electrician for the infrastructure. If I, get experience. People like me. They might be able to offer me with projects, which is projects I can take on. I can hire an assistant mechanic. I can hire a ground crew, and I can increase a little bit of more money that I get. The revenue I can increase instead of only making my own money. You see, those are ways, as in a small example, of how to increase yourself, hiring people, even if they're self-employed. You see? So by doing, the real work, things that actually matter, that add value, to society. Let me say it like this as well. If you have a business, you should not focus on creating wealth, but creating value. You should create value, for you as an individual and then your company, and you should add value, to what you have to offer for other people, their lives or their requests. You see, because we are in a period of time right now as well, in which this society has been created to be so reliant upon technology, reliant upon comfort, relying upon office type of jobs, that a lot of tradesmen, blue collar jobs, have become more scarce, man. For every five laborers, blue collar laborers that leave because they retire, only one comes back. So a lot of information, knowledge, and experience is actually, getting lost. You see, but if you're able to acquire that information, knowledge, understanding, experience as well, you add value, in your services, you're gonna increase your wealth, man. And I'm not saying that we should focus on that, during these times. But what I am saying is that if you have a business, by applying these things, so like, yeah. You can make sure that you as a man, your company is going to be more profitable, man. That's why applying these scriptures is so beneficial to an individual's life, because it is gonna give you the right steps to take, man. If people offer you an opportunity to make money quick, decline, man. But if you're able to gain money and make a profit by basically putting your hands to work, and doing something of value, that can reap much more benefits, man. You see, so these are things, that we should consider, even though we are in a society that is collapsing, man. You see? So wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. You see? Because you can make a name for yourself by doing a respectable job, and gain trust, and a name for yourself, man. So with that, I do hope and pray that this video was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, who teach and rule well. And shalom to the sincere Akyam, spreading this truth and sincerity. Shalom.